up? It's your boy Bones, and this is gonna be a quick video about the first ever 4K that I picked up at the pawn shops. Now, I did just stop at a random pawn shop today after work, and I knew this day would come.
This is a celebration.
This is the first 4K that I've picked up at a pawn shop. Now, I did get 10 DVDs. The guy did charge me 50 cents DVD, and then surprisingly he only charged me $1 for this, which is the Revenant. Now, I have not seen this completely. I've seen like bits and pieces of it on TV, but I haven't watched it like completely. So I was waiting to get the 4K, and of course I see it at Best Buy, and I was seeing it online and stuff, but I just wanted to wait, you know, to get it for a good price. And for $1, I think that's the best price I could get. So it was real cool because I mean it had everything in here. It had the code, it had the Blu-ray and the 4K. I really want to get into this movie and check it out. Of course, you have Leonardo DiCaprio and one of my favorite actors, Tom Hardy. A true story about an old wilderness guy that battles Indians and bears, and pretty cool addition to the collection. So I'm glad I picked this up. And then I also picked up these 10 DVDs of the UFC. Now, the only reason I picked these are the first DVDs that I have of the UFC. You know, I am a fan of the UFC, but I just never really, you know, pick up DVDs or anything like that. But the reason I picked these up is because these are actually the classics, which would be UFC 1 and the early days of UFC. And I was like, oh, I gotta pick these up. And then once I started looking through they had like a cart. And once I started looking through the movies, I just noticed that these were like all mixed up in there. And then once I got them all, there was actually 10 of them. So I was like, no, you know what? I'm gonna have to pick them up just for the collection, just to have them. And they were all pretty clean with the inserts inside of them. So I mean, it was like a no-brainer to pick them up. Of course, these are the early UFCs that have Royce Gracie and Ken Shamrock. You got Don Fry, which is like one of my favorite fighters. Dan Severn, all the early stuff when it was more like a tournament and there wasn't really like weight classes. It was just, you know, no holds barred fighting. So I remember watching these. Like, one of my training partners had them on VHS, so we would watch like the early UFCs and stuff. But pretty cool having these in the collection. Put them in there with my wrestling DVDs. But one thing I don't really talk about and people don't know is that I actually was a bouncer for a lot of years, and I would train with a couple of guys, and about 5 minutes from here there's a UFC training little training gym. So of course we trained everything from stand-up, striking, kicks, grappling. I could switch stances. I could hit with both hands or kick with both legs. And we did submissions from your heel hooks, leg locks, arm bars, chokes, Darce choke, of course rear naked, everything. Trained everything. So that was a fun time. And actually when I got into wrestling, like I use a lot of like submission moves and stuff like that, takedown. So it all like came together as to how I am in my wrestling career. But like I said, this is a short video just showing that I finally picked up a 4K at the pawn shops, and I picked up these pretty cool UFC DVDs. That's it for now. I'm gonna be working on my weekly haul, and I'll probably be up tomorrow. So see you guys next time.
Singing songs of love. Then when the hurdy-gurdy man came singing songs